Good
Good
morning.
morning, everyone.
Welcome to Wednesday.
Woo.
I've got Michelle Walters here with me this morning. So we're going to stitch out, and she came in early this week for random reasons. And so I was like, hey, why don't you come stitch with me? So here we are.
here
Welcome
we
to
are.
Live at Leabu.
Mhm.
Thanks for joining us. We have an embroidery class coming up, and we have this wonderful stitch out. I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do all month this month with the different weeks being Embroidery Month, but happy National Embroidery Month to everyone. So it's definitely going to have embroidery undertones for the different things, but we'll definitely decide the night before we're live every week, just like always. So no stress that I'm going to actually tell you what I'm going to do ahead of time. So good morning, Miss Kathy and Jane and Cindy. Thanks for joining us. I did post in the comments the design that we're going to be using today. This is one of OESD's new designs that have been released for February. And I'm happy to get you that, or you can go get it yourself, whichever. You're welcome to give me a call or any of us a call, and we will certainly take care of you.
Absolutely.
So let's just jump right in and get this rolling. Good morning, Jan.
Hi, Jen.
So we have some very cute tulip pink fabrics that
G'day,
we're going
Jen.
to be using. I'm sorry.
Jen just said, "G'day, Michelle." So I just said, "G'day, Jan."
G'day, mate.
G'day, mate.
G'day, mate. Yep. So this is the project that we are going to be doing is the USB holder. It is, I like in the hoop projects. I love the feeling of finishing something immediately. That is a wonderful thing. And I do definitely tend to take longer to finish projects if they have multiple pieces to them. Not always a good thing for me because I don't always have time to come back to whatever that is. So
That's true.
good morning, Dagmar and Mary. Thank you for joining. All right. I am going to add the cameras to the stage. Hi, Mom. All right. Let's see. Swap. Come on. You can do it.
You can do
You
it.
can do it.
You can do it.
All right. So, like I said, we've got these beautiful fabrics that we're going to be playing with. And then these are going to be our pockets. So some really pretty colors there. We are using elastic. You have to use what you have, right, guys? And I didn't have what it said I needed. So we're going to use what we had. So this is elastic that we have left over from masking way too many years ago. That lasted way too long. But it's only 1/8. You probably want a minimum of 1/4 in this reality, but this will work. I mean, the only thing it's going to do is you're going to flip the lid over and it's going to be underneath the elastic, so it'll stay closed. That's all it's for. So it'll do what it needs to do. And then the ribbon can be arranged, and it can be, of course, any color that you are desiring, depending upon your stuff here. So you can see the little ribbon here. You can't really see the elastic because her hand is covering up, but we're going to make little pockets. And my inner and outer pieces, I have the same color because I was in the mood for symmetry when I was picking things. So here we go. Hello, Miss Karen. All right. I have a 7x12 hoop, and I have no show mesh in it and non-fusible. And I have a standard embroidery bobbin in. So I didn't tell you this. That's how we switch cameras.
Ah, wonderful.
So if I tell you hit number 2, that's what I mean.
I know exactly. If you had told me that.
I know, I forgot.
Yeah.
You know, we actually didn't have a ton of time before we jumped on here this morning.
It's very last
very,
minute.
very last minute, but it's going to be fun, and that's all that matters.
That's fine.
So I've loaded the design. I have a standard embroidery bobbin in, just standard no show mesh here. This is that lightweight that I'm still trying to use up. So it'll be fine. There's not that many stitches in this project, so it'll work out just great for what we're doing. And I do just have a white thread in. I played with some different colors. I didn't really like the way they looked on these beautiful bright fabrics. So I said, I'm just going to keep it simple and leave white in. So the first thing that we're going to do is read the instructions. No, I'm just kidding. I haven't.
That's always a good thing.
I haven't done the whole thing yet. I just kind of glazed through it last night. So we did prep the fabrics. I did starch everything. And then the pockets were folded and pressed in half. So I did do that prep before we sat down with you guys here this morning. So I love this. Note, thread color shown here is a green that coordinates with the main fabric. Okay.
No, it's white.
Because I'm a rebel. Okay.
It's all part of being creative.
We're going to completely cover that up with our inside fabric, pretty side up. It wants me to tape it. Anybody want to guess whether I'm going to do that? Not happening. All right, we're going to just cover that little guy up. This is so cute. I love this fabric. Always double check and make sure when you, I like to fold mine up so I can see that I'm balanced. And then I do fold it sideways to also double check that I am past that back line, because as we have discussed before, it's really easy to look like we're covered back there because I can't see it from this angle, but I don't have enough over there to actually do that. So I always fold sideways as well when I'm doing something like this, just to make sure. But like I said, I don't
Here we go.
I don't follow directions very well either, because I think I was supposed to write on the stabilizer. But we'll come back to that. I'll read while it's stitching. What do you think? Tape in place. So it said to tape, and so it's a tip. It's not an actual instruction, but sometimes tips actually are a good thing. It is another 4-letter word, Jane.
Look at that.
I love that. Thank you for that. I don't know why I never thought of that. Just like hand. Hand is a 4-letter word. Tape is a 4-letter word.
It's stitched to perfection.
It's beautifully. But I'm gonna switch cameras here because this part actually kind of makes sense. It's a good tip. So what it's saying is to use something, a pencil of some sort, and extend the pocket placement lines. Because what did I do? I covered them all up. So there's my lines, and you probably can't see them super clearly either. So I am just going to draw out from those so I can see them on the outside. I'm so sorry, pardon me. And I can't even see them on the white paper. So I'm just going to extend those lines so I can see them outside of my fabric edges. That's actually a good tip. Tips are better than directions. They usually have some substance to them. See, these magnets are just not my friend lately. I just ripped my microphone off. Sorry, guys. Hang on. Sorry about that big clunk you probably all just heard. It probably made quite the obnoxious sound. So sorry. All right. So I already did step 2. So I'm just going to get rid of that page. And it says now, it tells you this on everyone. Remove the hoop from the machine, but not the project from the hoop. Can I just say no in a 4-letter word? Yeah. Okay.
Absolutely could.
With the hoop on a flat surface. I mean, really? Of course I'm not going to do that. Place a pocket over each section, top and bottom, and we're going to use those lines. So, of course, we want the fold side in, and we're going to use my line extensions there to actually see this. So, I unfortunately probably need to use, but I don't think, and now I'm pretty. So we're going to just that a little help. When I do use tape, I use big pieces because I got to use it up somehow. It dries out. You can't leave it out forever, right? Everybody knows that.
It's true.
It's totally true. All right. So folds on the inside, and it shows a lot more tape in the picture. I just can't do it. I didn't put that. I'll fix it. Let's see what we're going to do next. So towards the end of these instructions, like the last step, it has you adding fiber form in to give substance to the pockets. And I did not particularly care for that instruction. So I cut a piece of foam to fit inside of this instead. And I did not put it in there, and I should have. So I'm going to tape it to the back of the hoop. And I think that it will maybe tack it down, but we'll have to see. I might not tape it yet. I'm looking for pocket lines. Tack down and line work. Wow, those are tiny lines. So yes, I am going to very gently flip this over. And it looks like this is way too big because I cut it to the size of the fabric because I didn't know the size of this. So I am going to cut right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill in this space here. And this is like a soft and stable or a foam that you would have in your bag making or something like that, which, hey, this is just a little bag, right? So what I'm doing is I'm giving it support so that it will hold that'll work. Maybe a little narrow, but that's okay. We're winging it, right? Isn't that the whole point here? We're just making it up as we go. Okay. I don't want it in like the seam allowance because I want it to turn easy. I just want to make sure that it's got some form in the bag. And I didn't like the whole add fiber form at the end thing. Now maybe I'm going to decide at the end that this was a terrible decision. I'll let you know. Because, you know, guys, I make the mistakes, so you don't have to, right? All right, so I've got that foam on the back, and it's going to tack these down. I don't want it to catch the foot on that little piece there, so I'm just going to cover it up. Let's see what it does. It is going to go backwards. I'm a little poofy here, so hopefully we don't have any placement issues. And you guys will see me with my hands up by the needle probably more than most people are comfortable with. I definitely pay attention. I don't look away when I have my hand this close. But do not do this unless you are very comfortable with that. Just because I did it doesn't mean that you have to do that. I just wanted to throw that out there from a safety perspective. I am a fabric petter while it is stitching. I don't like big bumps of things. So I like to make sure things stay nice and smooth, which is all I'm doing here.
That's looking good.
So I think that foam is going to work pretty well. And honestly, I can leave the tape right on there until we're all done and then just tear it off.
Yep.
So it's catching that tape. It would have definitely caught my fabric there. So, all right, we're going to make sure that's nice and smooth in this corner as well. I'm sorry that arm is right up against there. There we go. We're getting a little farther out now. You guys can see what's happening a little better. So it's doing a nice triple stitch over top of itself to give it a nice strong, pocket so that you can move your USBs in and out. This is definitely designed for kind of the standard USB, not my crazy ones that are all different shapes and sizes, but I definitely have a lot of these as well. This is going to be a great thing if you're going on a retreat or something and you have multiple projects and you have different designs on different sticks. This will be a really great piece to take with you. Even to keep in your bag. How many times have you guys come to a class and thought you had a USB and didn't and needed the files that the teacher was providing from the class? So there's definitely a lot of reasons, I guess. So I'm going to remove as much tape as possible. I don't like it. And I shouldn't have any issues with it did not tear as well as I wanted it to. Let's try that again. There we go. So I am in dire need of getting my nails done. Too long. and they're at that point where they're like fat and I can't pick up a dang thing. The tips are too big and they're too long, and it's becoming a annoyance instead of helpful by any stretch. All right. So it is going to have me remove this over here. I actually like the flat surface of my machine, and it holds my hoop so it's not sliding around on my table as I'm yanking on it, trying to get this tape up. So I do like to do this on the machine, actually better than on a flat table because my hoop doesn't shift around. So when I yank, it stays right where I have it, which is a little thing, but sometimes can make a difference. So, good morning, Cindy. What does that say?
Wardrobe malfunction.
Yeah, major. That was major, wasn't it? Was the noise completely obnoxious on your end, guys? Because I apologize. I have a very heavy top sweater on today. It's like almost like a coat, and it goes all the way down to my knees. It's real. I absolutely love it. Crazy thing. I found it in Arizona.
Amazing.
I'm right. I mean, what are you gonna do? But it's very thick, and the magnet just wasn't quite strong enough to go through that heavy. Yeah. I only had it going through the collar part, but it didn't like it. So I do.
Slipped off.
I sincerely apologize. That probably sounded not fun on your end. So thank you for that. Okay, so I have all my tape off. My pockets are stitched. I'm going to leave that there for the moment just to keep it flat. It's not going to be in the way of anything. So what we are going to need to do now is place the elastic. What now? Align the piece of elastic between the placement lines as shown. Yeah, but I don't have any other placement line.
Let's have a look.
Yeah, I'm just going to wing it. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. So I am going to tape that down. So again, this is too thin. I'm going to give it a little bit of stretch because I don't want it to be loose and flappy. Otherwise, it won't hold my piece closed. But I want to make sure that there's room for items to go in there. You don't have it too taut.
That's right.
But give it just a little bit of a tug, and hopefully that stitch is going to catch that. Tearaway tape over the elastic. Well, I did that. Look at that without even reading these directions. All right. We're going to give this a go back over here, and I didn't change the camera so you couldn't see any of that. So that's how good I am this morning. All right. So I have guessed exactly where to put this. It says between the placement lines. There's not another line there. So I just stabbed in the dark. But I'm pretty lined up with my needle, so I think I'm going to be okay. Oh, hold that thought.
Okay.
All right. So we have talked in the past about people's directions and how good they are. I'm not enjoying these directions. In case anybody hasn't figured that out. I need to stitch this, and it will tell me where to put it. It's the little things in life, guys. I mean, look at that. So here's my placement lines that it wants me to put it in between. I'll remember to change the camera this time. Good morning. I'm not awake yet, evidently. Woohoo! All right, let's try this again.
Fantastic. There you go.
I'm going to move that camera right now so that I don't forget. Okay, here we go. I'm reading the directions over here. I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. Yep, I evidently skipped a step. I was so excited. All right, so between the placement lines, we are going to place our elastic. And as I said before, this is a little thin, I think, for this project. It will function, it'll work, but if I had my, what do they say, dithers, I would have it be slightly more of a 1/4 inch. So we're going to tape right over that stitch line, and we are putting it in between the markings. And again, like I said, I'm giving it, I want it to be nice and taut. I don't want it to be like uber stretched. I don't want to do that, but I don't want it loosey goosey in there. So I'm going to make sure it's nice and tight. And then I'm going to tape down on the other seam. So we're going to look like yay. Everybody with me? Sorry about that. It's all fun and games till you try to read. I should have just trusted myself and not read the directions. The directions messed me all up. Right, Dagmar? It is literally like I'm in your sewing room. I mean, that's just how I roll here. All right,
we keep it real.
Yeah,
very real.
I make as I said, guys, I make the mistakes so you don't have to. That's the whole blessing of what we do here, right? So we're going to stitch right on top of that. It's going to tack that into the seam allowance there, and it's going to tack that down. It's going to stitch right over top of that tape, which is actually what I want. So yeah, this is literally me. I mean, it's just it's how I roll. So it just happens to everybody else too. So you guys know you're not alone, right? All right. Do I need placement line? What am I doing here? All right. Yep. We're going to stitch another placement line so I know where to put my ribbon. Well, that's because I am absolutely imperfect, Miss Jan.
Oh, that's sweet.
All right. So what we did, and I know it's really hard for you to see because it's so close to the arm, we just did a little stitch here, very similar to the little markings on the outside here to tell me where to place the ribbon. Now, this is one of those things that a lot of people do backwards. So, you know, you think to yourself, well, I want the loop to be out on the outside, right? And so people will put the loop part going this direction. It's going to get turned. You need your rough edges out and the loop on the inside. So when we flip it, that will be going the direction. And I'm still talking to myself. So we're going to line that up in here with our raw edges going this way. All right. And your loop towards the center. It is absolutely very important that you do that. This ribbon can be a range of widths dependent upon your desire, but you do want it to be about 3 inches long, not too long. Otherwise it'll be a kind of weird looking loop instead of a nice looking loop. You just want a little guy that you could attach a lanyard or something to if you wanted to. If you do not want this, guess what? You could skip this stitch and not put any ribbon in. All right, so we're going to align that and we are going to tape that down. So again, the raw edges are right between the alignment pieces and my loop is on the inside. So no raw edge here. It's a folded ribbon on the inside. All right. Once we have that, got that tip here too. I told you tips are actually helpful. The fold will be towards the inside of the design.
Ooh.
Ooh. Ooh. Ah. All right. We are going to come back over here and I'm going to switch cameras. So I'm trying out a new placement for my camera switching box because the cords only go so far. And it's working, but it's not very visible. So I forget to push the button.
Yeah.
I'm working on it, guys. Sometimes, you know, just when you think you have it all right, you try something
You're
new
doing
and then
great.
And then doesn't always work.
Karen says great entertainment.
Well, you know, so I think I have re-camera'd everything that I didn't camera. Apologies. I did get that switched, but I'm sorry. Sometimes I do forget. So we have that piece of ribbon taped down and I am on step number 7 in my hoop. It's just going to do a little tack down right on that seam over here and get that ribbon attached. Sometimes when you're working a project like this, you will need to raise your presser foot just a little bit to make room for all of the different layers. That is absolutely going to be dependent upon your machine. All machines have a little bit of a different, even though they're standardized, they all have that their own personality, right?
Yep.
So definitely plan accordingly based on where your foot is. You want it gliding over it. You noticed I put tape anywhere that the foot would get stuck because, of course, we don't want that. But the main thing to keep in mind is that it's also not pushing into whatever it is that you're stitching. So you want it just hovering right over top of everything, no matter what you're stitching on. So this machine has an electronic lift. I would simply go in my settings and raise that number if need be. Anytime I change one of those settings, when I hit the gear or the paper with the turn down corner, whatever your button says, right? If you are going to change one of those, your machine remembers those. It does not revert back to a default when you turn the machine off and back on, like it would with a sewing stitch or something like that. It doesn't. That is a permanent thing until you change it back. So I will always put a sticky note, something on the corner of my screen. So I just chink and I put that on the corner of my screen. I don't write on it. It just tells me, hey, I changed a setting that I probably will want to put back before I turn the machine off. Because next time when I come back, it could be 2 weeks from now. And if you think I'm going to remember what I did 2 weeks ago, you're crazy. But if I look at that Post-it note, I go, oh yeah, I raised my foot.
Great reminder.
I'm going to just put that back. I don't have, you can scribble on it if you want to, don't misunderstand, but it's not like I'm changing 12 things. I'm just changing one. But I highly, highly recommend that you do something, whatever it is that you need. I just use Post-it notes. I put a little sticky note on the corner of my machine and it tells me, hey, I changed a setting that I gonna want to put back to the standard default menu piece. All right. Sorry, speech, but it matters. So make sure that your foot is hovering over everything and that you are going to remember to put it back. The last thing that we have, stitch number 8, is going to be attaching your back to this here. So we're going to put this pretty side down. All right. So here's my pretties. We're going to put that pretty side down and I am going to completely cover, I'm going to remove these tapes because I don't want to have to deal with that later. It probably said that in the directions that I didn't read. Maybe it was a tip. Who knows? All right. So everything that's going to be inside, except for the stuff on the back of the hoop, which I don't care about, I can deal with later. I'm going to completely cover that up. I'm literally there. It's this exact same size as my original piece. Because I do have a lot of things on the inside of here, it might be a little uneven. I am going to tape this down so it stays nice and smooth, just in case my foot, pushes on something underneath and gives me a little wobble. I want to make sure that the fabric's not going to shift. Last thing we're going to do is a stitch all the way around. It's going to leave a nice opening over here for turning. In general, I would actually leave an opening at the pocket, but these pockets have lines in it. Yeah. So if it's in a pocket, you can't see it, doesn't matter. It's super easy. But we're going to have to actually manage this opening later on. So for those of you who like 4-letter words, you could go ahead and do that with your opening. But I don't do that. I like to either literally just do a top stitch along that side, or like press my pieces in and then just top stitch it, or use a fusible seed tape. That also works very nicely. Yeah. So gonna just make sure that that's not pushing in the middle there. There's that ribbon's right over there, and I don't want a big bubble. Little bubble's okay, but not a big bubble.
Just a little one.
Oh, it's all right. We're gonna back up just a couple stitches there. Yep, it's pulling on my. I told you I was using that lightweight stabilizer. I think that's what's getting me here. Just needed. It's pulling from the side of my hoop. So I'm just gonna back up and cover up those, just to make sure I don't miss a spot. Nope, we got it. All right,
you're good to go.
I'm not a big fan of the lightweight stabilizer, but I have a whole roll of it in there, so I'm trying to use it up on projects that are not super stitch intensive, which this one is not. It's just got mostly running stitches and triple stitches, so not too heavy, but That corner just pulled just a smidgen on that. All right.
Just a little bit.
And guess what? That is the last of the stitching. So I'm going to pop back over here. Look at that. I remembered the camera. All right. And pop that right out of the hoop.
Pop it out.
Popping it out.
Popping it out.
Yep. And I have been working on my embroidery class. And so all my good scissors for cutting stuff like this are somewhere else. So we're just going to trim around. And we're going to do approximately a 1/4 inch all the way around. It does not have to be exact. I'm going to trim in my corners. And I want to leave a larger tab here because that'll make actually turning and tucking those pieces in a lot easier. If I have just a tiny little piece, it's really hard to turn that in once we've turned the whole bag. And actually, didn't mean to cut there. It's really easy to, I was following the cut line there. Wasn't that smart? Let's not do that. All right, gonna do the corners. Again, I did not put foam out here, so it's not in my seam. It should turn around my foam pretty easily, which at least that was the plan. We'll see what happens. Better scissors would have been super smart, but I didn't plan that far ahead. These are working. Just when I'm hitting like the elastics and the stuff like that, it's thicker. My applique scissors here are getting a workout. All right, cutting in my corner and coming around to home here. All right, so here's my foam. I am gonna, you know what? I don't even know if I care about the tape. What difference does it make? Okay, we are going to get rid of all this gunk so you're not looking at it. Once we have that, clip your corners. Do not cut through the seam stitch. Super important. I did corner these. I like to give them just a little extra cut and angle those as well. Again, do not cut into your stitches. This just removes and it helps you get a little bit nicer point.
So then it's not so thick.
It's not as bulky in that corner. You got it. Yep. So this is a 2-cut corner. So you're going to cut here and then you're going to cut here and here. So I did the first one as I was going around. All right. And that's the 4th one. All right. So I got rid of all of that. And we're just going to turn that now. So we're going to turn through this big opening. They left you a very large space. I don't think I'm going to have a problem with that foam, but we're going to find out here in a second. That might be why they decided to not put something in it, but I think I can manage, but we're going to find out. Nah. It'll go through. Look at that. Oh, that's so pretty. All right, get your elastic up. I'm going to take my turning tool. I'm not going to stab the corners. You literally turn the tool as you're inside, and it will help turn out and push out those fabrics. If you start doing this, even though the tip is got that big circle on it, you can actually push through the seam, which of course nobody wants to do and ruin their project. So since there's no foam in that outer seam, I'm able to turn that pretty well. I'm going to keep doing that on all of the corners, of course. I'm going to maybe pull a little more with my hand, make that go a smidgen faster. All right, let's go back to the tool and just roll those out. Perfect. Got my little tab there that I can make a carrying lanyard, add that to it, whatever floats your boat. Put just a little like small D-clip, like a carabiner or something like that. I'm not on camera. Sorry, let me lean forward a little. It's hard to do this reaching. Feel like there is a smidgen of foam in my way, so I'm not sure what I'm hitting. There we go. Got it. Just had to get past the foam is what it was. There we go. So almost there. One corner to go. Again, turn that tool. And then I'd like to pull that up and get into, like, in this case, my purple. So you can see the purple's not quite as far out there. Get that purple in there. And so you can push that as well. So we've got a large piece here. We're going to turn that in. Again, I would probably put just a fabric glue or a seam tape in there and then press that to keep that closed. Not a big sewer. Or you could do a top stitch here and then just throw in a top stitch there to balance that out. Whatever floats your boat. By all means, if you like that hand thing, go for it. That's just not for me. So once it is together, you would put your USBs in. I don't even know. Oh, I do have a USB. It's not the right company, but that's okay. You slide that in there. And so you have your USB that will fit in all of those pockets. And that even has a lanyard attached. So there's a little extra space in there. Once you have your pieces in there, this would then fold over and tuck into your elastic to stay closed. That's literally all there is to it. That is just so stinking cute.
It is gorgeous.
I love this fabric. So this is Tula Pink. This is from the newest line from
gray line,
the gray work line, and this is from the previous line. So we did mix them a little bit. You can see how much fun they are together. There's a new one coming out end of next month, beginning of April, that's called Coral Reef. And I don't know if we've gotten there yet, but we've been working on getting that up and available for pre-orders as well. So lots of fun to be had there. So happy Embroidery Month. This turned out very, very cute. It's actually cuter than the picture. By far, is absolutely adorable. And I don't know about you guys, but I have like a million. Let's try that again. Hello.
Hey.
So I have like a million USBs. So they are literally everywhere. All right. Nothing else added in there that I need to answer. That's beautiful. So we are actually that was super fast. Like,
yeah, it was very fast.
Very fast. All right. So I'm going to give you one more piece of instruction on this because, like I said, I kind of skipped that part. And they have you, I'm just going to read it. I just have to find, here we go. So once you have your everything turned, insert the fiber form pieces through the opening and move them to both ends of the pouch to give more stability. So they had you cut little rectangles to tuck in, like behind the pockets, which absolutely would work. I thought it would be nicer to have something through the whole thing, so it was a continuous feel on that. So that's why I tried the foam. That worked very well. You could tuck it underneath your original fabric laydown and put it right there, but taping it to the back of the hoop ended up working out just fine. Once you have those pieces in place, whether you do what I did or follow the directions, you're going to tuck those pieces in like we talked about. Press that with an iron so that you have a nice smooth piece. Don't try to mess with it moving around. It definitely is much, much easier if you press that into place. And then they actually do say close the opening with a small piece of fuse and seal. I don't know if that's the particular, I mean, we have so many different products that do that kind of thing here, but that's what I would probably do is put just a little iron-on double-sided adhesive, tuck it in there, and then iron it down. That's probably what I will do to finish that. But that is the difference. I like that the whole thing is the same. That's just me. So that's why we thought we would give that a go. And I definitely think that was a good call.
It was great.
I like that.
Amazing.
But it's just a matter of opinion and choice, of course. So by all means, if you like fiber form, go for it. So we have lots of new designs that we talked about last month that are coming forward. I do have almost all of the fabrics for the home sewn kits actually already and prepped. We're missing just a couple that have been ordered and should be here in the next few days, I believe they're coming into stock from what it looked like. So it shouldn't be a problem to have all of those kits. I am very excited about that home sewn, the tile scene.
I know.
It's
gorgeous.
just, it's really
cute.
darling. And I like
Mhm.
that it's a little different. It's not the same, you know, it's not another wall hanging. It's not another pillow. Yes, it's a decorative piece. It's going to be a changeable option, but I like that. I think that it's nice, and it's also not like you don't have to have a huge cedar chest to store all of the pieces. They will fit in your closet or whatever with that as well. So I'm very excited about that, and that is coming up. That is available for pre-order, so you can get in and let me know that you want one. We can make sure that we have everything available for you. So you certainly can do that. Mom, I have the one that we talked about. My mom said she'd help me get that sample prep so we could show you how that all goes together. So I do have all of that. So I think we're still planning on seeing you at dinner tonight. So we'll talk about that at dinner tonight. So Jane said she liked the idea of the foam and doesn't really like the stuffing. I just feel like it never goes and then stays like
Right.
where you want it to be, that
It's
then
true.
they're shifting around and whatever. So that was again, that was my thought. Not that their way is wrong. Please don't misunderstand. I didn't mean it like that. If that's how it was presented to anybody, it's just a different preference and that kind of thing. So we all have ways we like to do things, and I know that when I read it in instruction of something, it's very common that I'll be like, I don't particularly like
I
that.
do the
And
same
I
thing.
want to try
Mhm.
something, but I'm a little worried it's not gonna to work, right? And so
Right.
do I want to waste whatever it is if it doesn't pan out, right?
Sometimes you just got to follow your own way.
And so thanks, Mom. So that was part of the reason I wanted to totally mess with it live is because by not following the instructions, I literally got lost in the instructions. Like, where do I, there's no place the phone
Right.
now, you know? So I was like, oops, I didn't do that. So I taped it to the back. I had originally planned to sew it in underneath just so that it was already inside, but the taping to the back actually turned out great.
It was great. Yeah.
Anyways, this is darling. There are some other things that are coming that are super cute. I didn't mention last week, there are some Scooby-Doo designs, and I'm super excited. I grew up with Scooby-Doo,
So did
so
I. Love
I
him so
absolutely
much. He's
love
so cute.
love Scooby and Shaggy.
Yeah.
And that's
Totally.
this particular set of designs is basically those two. It's Scooby by himself and Scooby with Shaggy, and they're super cute. So I did order them so we can stitch some samples here, but I don't know that I'll stitch them live, but we'll see. Who knows? I do have a few other things on the calendar in my head of what I want to do coming forward. I just don't know which weeks things will plan out. We do absolutely have classes coming up next week. We're going to do the Valentine collage, applique, quilting, whatever you want to call it. I'll call it. I don't care. It turned out super cute.
It's so cute.
The fabrics are great, and the technique you can use with anything, which is kind of cool. So it's a lot of fun. You could use it as a regular applique if you had something that was applique. You could do this in the in place of it. Oh, it's fine if you want. Doesn't matter.
I'll grab the sample and show
cool.
you guys.
Thank you. So the I'm so sorry. Pardon me. The class is coming up. I'm doing an embroidery class, which this one was done in the embroidery hoop, but the sewing version will basically look almost just like this. The stitches will be slightly different because you can choose your stitches, where I chose it for you on this one for the embroidery hoop. So cute little Valentine. You could turn that into a little pillow. You could add it to a quilt. It's just like a piece of fabric. So I mean, it's not like a board or any, it's just made up of fabric that's been fused together and had some fun. So
it's a collage.
It is collage.
Collage
exactly what it is. We're going to use the Sweetheart Street fabrics, which are absolutely darling and perfect for the project. So please feel free to sign up. The embroidery is Tuesday. Is that right? Yes. Embroidery is Tuesday and the sewing is Thursday. So no matter what available machine that you have, we can do this project together. We have the kits all ready. If you are farther away and want to participate, we can certainly mail you a kit. just get signed up and let's get it in the mail, because the mail's
Yeah,
not
gotta do
been
it ASAP if you want
the
your
mail
kit.
has really not been phenomenal of late, right? It's just been slower and slower and slower. I don't know what's going on there. They tried blaming the weather.
Yeah, of course they did.
They're like, it's going to be another week because
it's
it
the
was
snow.
cold. I was like, no, give me my stuff, right? We all want our stuff. So yeah, that is coming up. And then we've got digitizing classes, also one's next week, next Thursday in the morning. My classes are in the evening at 5 o'clock. And Jan and I sat down, Jan that's talking here, we sat down and got some things on the calendar. So one of these days here, probably one of this month's dates, Jan will be sitting with me and we'll talk about the classes that she has coming up and what they look like and how they work together and all of that good stuff. So, of course, of course, they always have a rate hike. I mean, everything just keeps going up. It's absolutely insane.
Crazy.
But there's not a whole lot we can
Just
do about that,
nuts.
is there? So, but this is National Embroidery Month. There are some specials available on some of the embroidery machines, both Baby Lock and Brother. So if you have been thinking about something, just let me know and we can talk about what those things are that are available. And what else? We've had a lot of new stuff coming in, and a lot of stuff is coming in over the next couple of months. There's going to be a lot of new product. So look for emails, and Michelle's doing a great job doing the Facebook
social media.
and the social media posts. She's taking care of all of that for us. So she's been doing some really cute posts with music and all kinds of it's great. I don't know how to do all that crap. So I'm so glad you do, because I don't know how to do any of that. So but I appreciate you guys all hanging out with us today and doing the stitch out and watching me break the rules and
It was lots of fun.
make all the mistakes, because that's how
that's
how this works, is you have to make a mistake somewhere in there. So hopefully I made them so you won't. That's always the goal. So happy stitching, happy Embroidery Month. Thank you so much for joining us today. I lost my mouse. There it is. It just hides in all of the different spots. It's just crazy. So thanks so much.
Take care.
If you haven't met Michelle, this is Michelle Walters. She's here full time now. So
I look forward to meeting you all. I've met some of you in person, some of you I haven't, some I've spoken to over the phone.
Yep. You generally know if it's her. There's a small giveaway.
There is. Can you guess what that is?
Just a little bit.
Just a little something.
Oh yes, you must have spoken with Michelle. That's easy to. She had an accent. Usually they think it's like an English accent, though. For whatever reason, they always stab English.
Yeah, I'm British.
Yeah.
From New Zealand.
Yeah.
South African. I've gotten that one.
Yeah.
It's okay. But I don't take offense to it.
I mean,
it's fine.
I mean, I think it's great. So.
It's when they say, "Oh, which part of Britain are you from?" I'm like, "No, I'm Australian." Oh.
Yep. So
whatever.
It's all good. It's kind of like all kinds of things that people, it's crazy what people say to us, to be perfectly honest. Anyway.
Oh, we always have a good time.
That's a whole nother story, right? So thank you again for joining us. Happy stitching to all of you, and happy National Embroidery Month. Let me know if I can help you in any way. It looks like there's one more comment on there. I wanted to just, yes.
Oh, thank you.
Have a great day. Yes,
You
I mean,
too.
of course. So thank you guys for joining. We will see you next time. Feel free to come on in. We are here and prepping all kinds of things for the upcoming stuff. So it's going to be a fun month. It's going to be a fun year. So we will see you guys next week. Thanks for hanging.
Bye.